welcome everyone. This is Araceli from Build Wealth with Araceli. And today I am with Colette. Colette, can you introduce yourself and tell us what we're talking about today?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Colette Rabba. I'm a real estate broker in the GTA West, Mississauga, Oakville, Burlington, Brampton. What else? Anyway, uh, Araceli and I love to do the show because we love talking about real estate. We love to help people invest, but also move forward in their real estate acquirement. Is that even a word?
It could
To
be.
acquire real estate, I think it is. To acquire real estate either as an investment or to just live in a property. So we like residential more than commercial. Not to say that there's anything wrong with commercial. We just pick our lane. Can I say
Yeah,
that?
that's exactly it. You pick your lane of what you want to invest in. And
And
today,
you know what?
one of the major issues that people run into is that they don't have enough money. And one of the questions that we had is, should you partner in real estate investing?
Sorry, it's not just about money. It's also about skill set and
Of
knowledge.
course, that's one of the things as well that people they just shy away from starting to invest in real estate.
Right.
So the question is, should you partner in real estate? That is the question basically. And right now, I'm going to tell you, if you do find, first, there's different kinds of partnerships, because what you could have is you could have a silent partner that they just either bring the money or the work, or you can have an active partner that you both want to participate in doing the transaction, going there and buying the property, doing all the work, whatever work it's required or not, right? So, Colette, what do you have to say about that?
Yeah. What she said. It's really interesting because a lot of the times we talk about this quite often. So um, I personally am very careful when it comes to, and as so should you, if you're looking into a partnership, because it is very rare, in my opinion, to find someone who's very like-minded, almost to a point where you're like, oh my gosh, like when the stars align, that's really what a partnership should feel like. Just very much like, can I say like a um, a partner, like a romantic partner. I don't want to say husband or wife, but when you're looking for someone that is really, if I can use that as a something that we've all gone through, to find a person that really gets you and understands you, that compliments you, that does things that you, the skill set that you don't have. So I look at an investment partnership very much like a romantic partnership, minus the romance of it. But really, you have to find someone or even a few people if you really want to have a group of people investing together. That partnership has to really make sense. So there's a few things that we've picked out to really look
Exactly.
at when
Yeah.
you're interviewing or you're interviewing each other to find if that partnership works. So let's say Araceli and I want to be partners. So the first thing we have to ask each other is, do you want to be a silent partner, yes or no? So once we get that out of the way, say, no, we both active partners, we both want to get our hands dirty. How are we going to do this? Then there are a couple things. So what do you think is a benefit to having a partnership?
Okay, so the first thing obviously is share responsibility. So whatever is required to do to acquire the property, you're going to be having responsibilities. You're going to do this, I'm going to do this, right?
Right. No sleeping
That
in.
that's right. Yeah. Exactly. So you're going to share responsibilities, whatever responsibilities those are. And that's what the magic begins. And I totally agree with you, because I did have a partner before, and we had a really good business partnership. We complemented each other. We had different personalities, but we had the same goal. And I think you don't have to worry about having different personalities. The most important thing is having the same goal and having the same idea, like that you're gonna work and get this done. So the first
Right.
one, obviously, share responsibilities, right?
Right.
Now
Well,
this, yeah, go ahead.
The other thing too that I would like to add to the list, I don't even know if we had, no, we didn't add it to the list, but one thing that I really find that in any agreement, any legal agreement, any partnership, anything, even a marriage, it's about timing too, to understand we need to get this done by a certain date because it affects everything else. In this case, and actually we just talked about that, something that we might become partners,
Yeah.
secret, but this thing that we're talking about, timing and how important timing is throughout the whole process of investing. So if you disagree on the timing, that could be a big situation that, forget it. We've discussed this. We had the shared responsibility. One of you is not, uh, getting to the level of your responsibility or whatever it is. Let's say it's money. The one partner has to say, okay, this is when I put money into it, and at whatever time. So let's say
Yeah.
it's
So
a
that's what you have to do. So don't jump again on what we need to say here.
sorry.
So sorry, the second thing that you need to look at is what are the skills that you bring to the table? Just like in a
Right.
marriage, right? Like what do you bring to the table?
And I want to defend myself because they
Okay.
all have something to do with one another. So that's what I wanted to say about the timing and the complementing skills, the shared responsibility. It all falls in just like dominoes. If one thing falls, everything else falls. So you really have
Exactly.
to be
Exactly.
very clear in
Yeah.
your agreement with each other.
Correct. But the important thing is to know yourself. Start with that because you know what skills you bring to the table for this particular job. In this case, if you're going to be buying houses and flipping them or buying houses and renting them, what is skills you bring to the table, right?
Right. And you have, along with complementing skills and what skills you bring to the table, sometimes you open up a wall and you realize that both your skills don't can't, you just can't figure it out, that you both agree to hire someone at what point.
Yeah.
So all of these things have to be discussed before anything is done, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And the thing is, some of the stuff you're gonna have to basically figure out when it happens because it's something that you've never discussed in the past. So important
Exactly.
is to have good communication with the person.
Be
Um,
flexible.
yeah, exactly. So these skills that I'm talking about, it's actual skills. Like for example, my very strong skills are program management. So I know how to the project works, how to organize it, how to time things. Um, Maybe your skills are more into, maybe you already have a skill like our electrician or a plumber, or you're maybe a general contractor and you're partnering with somebody that does not have those skills, right? uh,
Right, but even the skill of saying, let's look at it from another perspective, or let's look at it from this way, and to see the bigger picture. So that is very hard for a lot of people too. That, and this is just a guide. This is just something that we're talking about today because it's something that we get asked, and we discuss it because a lot of the times, even in a marriage, things go awry, things happen, right? And you have to be flexible enough and open enough to discuss them and say, okay, let's together come up with a situation. So that's the thing. What I really like about a partnership is that you have that. So going back to shared responsibility. So this is what we're talking about: to be flexible, say, hey, I don't know how to handle that. You deal with that. Like that has to be discussed.
exactly.
So
Well,
yeah,
it all comes back to communications. And
right,
the more you communicate, because there's always going to be something that you're never going to know that you needed
right,
to fix it, right? So
yeah,
the number three is that you're going to have more money because if you guys have a little bit of money, but if you put it together, now you can do stuff. And of course, that spreads your risk, right? Because if you weren't able to do it with your own money, but now you bring a partner that has this exact same amount, then now you're able to do more and you have a lot less risk to do
right. And
this.
if somebody, and this is the other thing too, it doesn't have to be 50-50. So even if somebody else
Exactly.
has more money and the other person has more skills, so that can all be managed to your level. There's nothing in stone. Like you can really say, you can craft that agreement to what you and your partner discuss and what is what is good for both of you. So
Yeah.
don't feel like, oh, I can't be flexible. It needs to be 50-50. If that works for you, that's the only way you're going to do it, then your partner has to agree, right?
Exactly. So everything is um, nothing set in stone. It's all good. Whatever's, you have to be okay with it, with that partnership, both of you, because if you're going to resent the person because he's not bringing enough money, then it's not going to work. So you have to, whatever you decide, whether it's more money, more skills, less skills,
Right.
it has to
Schedules.
work.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. It can be done.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So the number four thing that you need that is a benefit is that you have accountability. So sometimes, when you do it all by yourself, then yeah, I'll do it whenever, right? But if you
Right.
have a deadline and you already have a project that you're working on, and you know that your partner is getting this done, and now after that you have to pick up whatever the next task is, then you have that accountability. Okay, I'm going to be doing this next time, or I'm going to hire, my responsibility is hiring an electrician that we're going to be ready for next week. So I better hurry up and call a few people and get this done, right?
Right. And
So
not the whole, oh, I thought you were going to do that. That
exactly.
that's why, I keep going back to a contract to say, okay, this has spelled out, it has schedules, it has like we both understand what is whose responsibility is what, where is the money coming from, when is it going to be paid out? So all these things, I guess that's my strong suit is the legalities of it.
Yeah.
Of
Well, yeah, and
the
of course,
contract. Yeah.
of course, you don't want to ruin a friendship because you couldn't
Right.
get something done. And you always go back to it. I do strongly recommend that you have a contract to begin with. But however, no matter what contracts you have, it's just like a marriage, right? If it breaks down, it breaks down. But I think if you understand the person enough and your goal is the same, then you
Right.
have this ability to sit down and figure out, okay, so what's wrong? What happened? Why did it didn't get done? Can you be responsible? No, I don't want to. Can you be responsible? And then you can figure it out. But it's all along the way, the transaction, that you need to continue to communicate
Yeah.
and
It's
say,
the end
I
goal.
cannot do it. Or even if you both cannot do it, then somebody has to say, okay, well, I'm willing to figure out how to do it. And the other person, okay, well, I'm going to figure out how to do this while you figure out how to do this, right?
Right. Well,
Because it is what it
and this
is.
is this is where this is absolutely when things fall apart. So if you have a document that's written on paper to say, "Oh my God, the house is falling down. What do we do?" You can't have every single scenario, but if you have things that if we're at a stalemate for whatever 6 months, we can call in a mediator, or we can do this is the next step. So really to think it through to say, okay, even though we love each other and we're best friends and
Mhm.
we get along so well, uh, having that understanding to say, okay, time has passed, we're running out of money, we're bleeding money, what do we do? And then to have a contract in there, let's say one of you gets hurt and you can't make decisions. So that document, to have it all in writing, is so important to say, okay, look at we've already discussed this. This is what it means.
Yeah,
And if you can't manage, then I have the authority now to
yeah,
take over and to do whatever. God forbid,
for
something
sure.
happens to
And
you, but
and
you
this
never know.
is and this is kind of the worst case scenario.
Right.
Of course, if you're gonna starting try to start small to do something that is light, so you can see if it's going to be a good working environment, because people change, believe me. Like
Of
when you
course.
put them under stress, that's when you know what people are really like. And if you
Right.
haven't been in that situation with that person, thinking that because you both want to do real estate, that doesn't mean that you're going to get along. So that's why it's important to kind of see all of these things. And the last thing that I want to bring up on a partnership is this: it could be a lot of fun. First of all,
Right.
I don't like doing things by myself. And you also have to bounce ideas from each other. Plus, you're going to have fun along the way doing the work. So,
Very much like a marriage, right? If you don't have fun, there's trouble.
exactly,
So
exactly.
you do absolutely want to have fun, and doing homes, it is, we're not saying it's not a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but the fun stuff that you like to do, maybe it's the decorating at the end, maybe it's the sales that you get a thrill out of negotiating. Like all those things are really exciting. And to have that end goal to say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. Let's have fun in the whole time. We'll hit our markers, we'll hit our timing, we'll get things done. And together, the fun can be the celebration at the end when it's all done.
Exactly. And it's fun and exciting because you're actually creating something. That's what I love so much real estate, because you basically are creating a brand new house, right? Like even if it's not new, you know that you're going to transform that into something different, and that is going to obviously give you money, satisfaction, fun, and at the end of the day, is getting something done that is going to be
Right. And
really,
hopefully
really
lots of money.
well.
Like
Hopefully, you make a lot of money in
that's the
between.
goal. That's the goal. Right.
Yeah. And I think that that is basically all the benefits that we bring. I think it is advisable if you're a little bit afraid. Uh, Also, the other thing that you could do is like I do with my coaching clients, I become their partners, right? To do the things because they are afraid of getting started. They don't know, they've never done it. And I've done it a few times already, so I can put them at ease. Hey, you know, if this happens, this is what we need to do, and walk them through so that you could do that as well. If you're afraid of getting started or if you don't know how. So just
Right.
to recap, just remember, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Give us your comments and questions because we use them here to give you all that information. And so just to recap what we talk about, if you would like to do a partnership, it could be more than one person, okay? Um, so the benefits are you're gonna share the responsibilities. So especially if you have a full-time job, you may want to partner with somebody so you know that things are gonna be taken care of while you are working, and things are gonna take less time. You're gonna complement your skills. So hopefully you'll find somebody that knows something that you don't know how to do, right? You're gonna have more money on the overall. So if you pull resources and therefore spread the risk in the whole transaction, you have accountability. You're gonna say, "Oh my God, I gotta get this done because this person is waiting for me to do the next step." And the last one, and the one that I like the best, is that you can have a lot more fun with somebody instead of doing it all by yourself. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you, Colette, for being here, and we will see you in the next episode.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Thank you for being here on the show. Please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when there are more shows available. And if you would like to have more information on how to start investing in real estate, please visit my website at www.aracelihernandez.com. Thank you.